Hello everyone, I'm back in the game and today we are going to talk about MANAFORGE Omega. My impressions from the new looking for raid version of this new raid. I appreciate that talking to people and giving them some kind of guides on raids these days is kind of similar to explaining to you how the first gear works in a manual transmission in a world where everyone is driving electric cars with automatic transmission. If this analogy makes any sense. If it doesn't, at the very least give me a like for the geeky dad-like jokes and humor. Alright my friends, so I kinda sorta like MANAFORGE Omega, but I fully appreciate that I like it only because of the freshly opened latest wing of it. The wing number 3, okay? The wing number 3 is called, I'm gonna even tell you, the Heart of Darkness. The Heart of Darkness obviously contains the 2 last bosses, but we'll get to it. The first 2 wings with full of bosses, yes, it's kind of generous, but at the same time, it's not particularly that exciting, but we'll go through it anyway. Alright, so let's take a look at this. I have it already open on the screen, Adventure Guide, why the hell not? Let's take a look at Plexus Sentinel. Again, not pretending to know all mechanics or whatever, I'm just entertaining you with this and reflecting on my own experience. So Plexus Sentinel is actually not bad. For the first boss, I think it's not bad. It certainly is not crazy creative, but it introduces the mechanic of using your cloak when the arcane kind of wall starts approaching you. That is the only moment that matters in that fight. And that is when you press the special button, you turn into this pure energy, you kind of dash through that wall, you don't die, you continue fighting the Sentinel. It's okay. For the first fight, not bad. Overall, however, and that Sentinel is straight away there, but after that first boss, you kind of realize that the biggest problem of MANAFORGE Omega is how gigantically massive it is. Yeah, there are a few teleports, but first of all, one of them kills you with the lightning from the sky, which is freaking annoying. And also, there are some teleports, but there is still a ton of running. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just not fit anymore. Tell me what you think. Maybe just my memory deceives me. But, man, it feels there is so much pointless running. There is just so much running, mate. There is so much running. Anyway, let's go on to Loomithar. Loomithar is this poor thing that's weaving, basically, the cloaks for the Shadow God, okay? I found the fight incredibly boring. Yes, there is an AoE. There is a massive AoE that so he surrounds you with basically encircling you ads. That circle needs to be broken so that the exit opens. Kind of reminds me of some old boss, the fire guy in the previous raid. Forgot his name. It is a similar mechanic. We've seen it before. And then he starts casting a massive AoE for you to get out of. It's boring. I didn't like Loomithar. Plus, none of the classes that I play actually get anything half decent from it. I guess these shoulders look not bad, but you know, Loomithar is boring. Soulbinder, listen. Again, I genuinely, unapologetically feel better about the bosses that give my guys something. If they give my guys nothing, my alts, if they give them nothing, I automatically downgrade them. But Soulbinder, look, you have to fight this guy. There are these canisters. If you're not completely brain dead, you have to realize that if you get these lines coming out of you, and as you move, the lines move with you, you have to target the canisters with this kind of brewing Shadow God in those canisters with those lines. In order to break them, you kill the ads, and that's how you go through the fight. You go through the room, more lines, more canisters to break, you kill the boss. Boring. I'm gonna say boring. You tell me what you think. Forgemaster, Forge Weaver Araz. Again, this first boss of the second wing, you gotta run forever to him. So I got bored again. And the fight itself is both slightly confusing with periodically activating targets within it, as well as lengthy. I found it lengthy. And yes, I'm sorry, I don't want to repeat the word boring, but it's kind of a bit boring for me. I don't know, I wasn't a fan. Soulhunters, however, was tiny bit more fun because it's these 3 edgy dudes, one dude and 2 girls, actually, good on you, my people, hanging out there in the wilds, hanging out together, and they all represent individual specs of demon hunters. In case you've been living under a rock and you don't know, this guy, Aldaros Duskblaze, he is representing the new Devour spec that's coming up in midnight. Okay, then this girl obviously is the Havoc, and this hot girl is obviously the tank, the Vengeance. Yeah, they're cool. Their fight, I found it cool. I found it a bit hectic. There is no strategy to it. Just don't die. Try to dodge their dashes and all that kind of stuff. Follow the raid and you're gonna be okay. Fractilis is the first interesting fight of this raid I found. It's actually interesting. It's somewhat engaging. What happens there is that there is some mechanic which I cannot explain properly because I can't be bothered reading anything and I don't watch guides. I only produce them. Yes, lol at me, bro. He sort of shoots these kind of stone walls, so to speak, and these walls he kind of shoots them. He can occupy the whole sort of space in front of him with these walls, and they're sort of behind your back kind of thing. So he creates kind of like this like forest of walls behind of you, so to speak. Yeah. And these walls can stack one in front of another. So if you look at it kind of holistically, it looks like Tetris, the game, you know, where the more walls are stacking on top of each other, the closer they get to him. As soon as it gets to 5 or 6 walls, if I'm not mistaken, the game is lost. He basically casts something that kills everyone. So what you need to do is, in the place where the walls are stacking, you listen to DBM, Deadly Boss mods, or any other mod, that because no one tracks these things manually, everyone uses an add-on, as you should be. You basically watch out for him targeting you, whether he's gonna do the wall break or whatever it's called. Then you stand in front of the wall, if you are the one targeted at it, to make sure that the wall behind you breaks and those walls don't stack up too much. So there is a bit of thinking involved, which is great. Now, this is the new wing now. Nexus King, Shalada, and Dimensius, obviously. Nexus King is an amazing fight. I really, really liked it. I really liked it. There are transitions between him and him on his horsey / the dragon. There are the dragons flying above, shooting blue fire, bluish purple fire everywhere. Then, spoiler alert, he does a nasty thing and deceives his, not deceives, but betrays, I suppose, his little dragon and like sucks his energy and stuff. Listen, it's cool. I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the fight. It's hard, but it's doable. It's great. Man, Dimensius, of course it's a final boss of the raid, okay? And it reminds me of the good old Razageth that was insanely hard boss of a end boss of the raid, but then when we beat her, it was real satisfaction, and I was a tank back then. Here I'm just a measly DPS trying to learn the fight at the moment, not even doing that great on the screen on DPS, by the way, so not pretending for any of that. Man, it's hectic. I wouldn't even pretend to try and explain it, dude. Like, it's crazy, man. We didn't beat him, and it is like, fresh reset. I know it's LFR. I understand it's the hardest boss by definition, and it's the very first day of this boss becoming available, so no one has learned it yet. So it's chaos, man. So my humble opinion, first week, if this is when you're watching this video, and if it's the first week of you watching this, I reckon do everything and then do one attempt on Dimensius, and if you see that your raid is nowhere close to killing him, it's not like you died when he was 10% of health, man, just leave it till next week. You're just gonna save yourself more time, and if you have alts like me, your time is better spent doing something else. All in all, I give 3 out of 5 to this raid. That's my rating for the raid in general, and I would have given it lower rating if not for Nexus King Shalada. I actually liked him a lot, and that is why I'm giving it a bit higher rate. So I'm really, really glad that they are not doing anymore the 2 weeks break between the LFR wings are opening, because having something new opening for casuals like me who just have these armies of alt and they don't want to think about it too much, open every week is great. My humble opinion. That's my impression. If you want now for me to talk to you about the specs I play and actually characters that are not my mains, but they are a handful of my alts, my group 1 basically of alts in my warband, tell me in the comments down below as always, as well as share your own impressions of these bosses. Which one is your favorite? Can you explain Dimensius's mechanics to me and to others? I'm sure a lot of other people in my community are going to thank you. Well, I certainly thank you for watching. If you watched the whole video, you're very special to me. I'm not even being funny here. Like, it truly means a lot to me, considering how semi-asleep my own World of Warcraft community is. But as you can see, I'm back. I'm quite kind of excited. So more content is coming if you would like to stick around and talk to me in the comments down below, especially about what interests you. We might talk about this next. Thanks for being with me. I'll talk to you next time.